corner. Again, Hess, low to high, just scorches the twine. Princeton on a 4-goal run. Hess, 2 of those 4 goals here in the 3rd quarter.
John Hess just announced today, first team All-America. And he's showing why. Hubbard along with him and Casey Powell round out the attack unit first teamers. No timeout called by Maryland. They're going to go with what they've got, try to get some possessions here. 4 goals down.
Look at the attack scoring. All of a sudden, Princeton's attack is on fire. Maryland's attack has been quiet all day.
And there's a sensational save by Popham. He has played the best game we have seen maybe all year, Quint. Popham is on fire, stepping up when his coach needed him. He has been really an iron door for Maryland down there. That was a nice move for Maryland and looked like a sure goal. Popham makes the save.
We will see a patient attack by Princeton. They'll attack the goal, but they'll pick their spots. They'll make sure their substitutes are on. They'll control the ball, get it around for a minute or 2 on every possession. They're not going to stall, but they will play this game, the rest of this game, at their pace, at their tempo.
John Hess behind, working on Connor. With his new scoring ability, now he's got Connor hung up. Healy goes out to try to seal one side into the crease, picked off very quickly by Burnham. Now can they clear? They've had trouble getting past Princeton in the clearing zone. Burnham runs up. Maybe this will open up Maryland. You know, Maryland's been a little bit tight on the offensive end, Quint. Now they've got to sort of let it go. They're 4 goals down. This is not a 1-goal game anymore.
No, and they haven't generated many shots in the 3rd quarter. We're halfway through the quarter already. Maryland yet to score a goal here.
I thought they needed 40 shots to win this game, and I bet you they haven't gotten 20 yet. Third quarter action. Maryland now with their first real possession of the 2nd half, and it took 7 minutes to get it. And on the far side as they move it back to Chris Malone. Being marked by Torty. Here are the shot numbers. Terrapins are right at 20. 26 for Princeton. So Popham has been the story. Hannah looking for the left-handed shot up top. Here comes Whipple. Cranking it, goes wide. Backed up just in time by Chris Malone.
Nice ball movement by Malone and Hannah finding Whipple. The attackman was in front. There he is. You can see the C on his jersey. One of the captains, one of the 9 seniors in this class of '98 that's been so successful for Maryland.
They've got their backs against the wall now. Malone coming in, not much of an angle, goes right through the ground with that shot, and Popham just read it all the way.
Popham playing the game of his career right there. Pretty simple save. He holds his ground, plays his angles so well.
Ball loose, watch out. Hahn's on the run. He's looking for help. He'll take the shot himself. Goes for the corner with an off-speed shot, and Popham makes the easy save. Popham has them talking to themselves. Maryland not loose at all on the offensive end, and they can't figure out Corey Popham.
Just a great one-on-one save. Hahn seemed to be bothered by the chasing Princeton Tigers. Didn't really put any mustard on that. He kind of just lofted it, and Popham with the quick hands made the easy save. Huge turn of events right there. That was a great opportunity for Maryland.
Popham has come up big any time he's been called on today. Andrew Whipple controlling behind Harrington. There's the double coming in. He looks for somebody out front. Whipple goes close. There's a shot and another off-speed shot by Hahn. Hahn with a little roller that doesn't even find the net.
Lunkenheimer got his stick in the gloves and took away the velocity. You can see how Hahn and Whipple work so well, and Princeton's got numbers.
Look at Hahn, totally frustrated. Princeton on the run, but they know the clock is part of their team as well right now. Using the clock, as you talked about before, on every possession, they'll take off precious minutes. 4-goal lead with this team is huge.
Last year's semifinals against Duke, they took the lead with 4 minutes to go. Duke never saw the ball. They never got it back. This year in the semifinals, Syracuse had to double-team Princeton. They actually got 2 possessions late in that game. We're not at that stage yet. Maryland not going to take chances until there's about 5 minutes to go in the 4th.
Sims getting a little bit of real estate out front. Tough to cover. Tried to go far side to Massey. Nice thought. Massey got enough of it to keep it in bounds. Brian Reese will mark up on Massey. Massey comes in, a little bit of room, and there's an easy goal. Defense of Maryland has just fallen apart.
Massey's 2nd goal of the game. Great clear out. Nice field awareness by the rest of the Princeton team as you take a look at Christian Cook. There's Massey, 2 goals today on the left-handed move. You'll see no one on the left half of the field. You see how they all get out of his way, and there's a lot of space. Massey has a lot of time and room there, and Brian Reese has got to do a better job of pushing him behind the cage.
Yeah, there's no way that he should have any angle for any shot. Reese has plenty of size. He had plenty of angle. He had plenty of position. All he has to do is shove him back a little further. He's done it all year. This team is a little bit spooked right now, not playing their normal game. Maryland has played beautiful games. This one, not one of them.
And no timeout again. Princeton now on a 5-goal run. Coach Adele had a chance to call timeout after a 2 or 3-goal run, and now he's let this game get out of control.
Well, got a foul on Martell, so this might give him another extra man opportunity. Edel hoping that something will spark them in the right direction, saving the timeouts for hopefully late in the game when it's a 1-goal difference and he needs them.
Maryland on the extra man, 38% on the season. The big shooters are Hannah, number 35 with the left hand, and Rule, number 4 with the right. And if you spread the D, they'll knock it inside to Matt Hahn, number 32, who's right in front.
Scoreless in a big chunk of time, and I tell you what, the offense, the attack, really nowhere. Goals by Zeller, Radin, and Hannah. Ball up top, here will be a shot. Hard shot to the corner. Hockstead finally gets untracked. That'll help. We featured him in the beginning of the show, Quint, and if he's loose, if he's getting his shots, you can count on 3 or 4.
Nice execution by Maryland on the extra man in a must-score situation. Their second extra man goal of the game. Whipple, a little look-away action to Hockstead. He plants and beats Popham right by the stick side. Too much velocity, too much ball movement. Hockstead gets the Maryland attack on the board. That's their first goal. As you said, Leaf, the Maryland midfielders have done their scoring so far. We need to hear from Hahn, Hockstead, and Whipple if the Terrapins are going to rally.
They're set up for a fast break. It'll be Hockstead again with a shot coming in, gets the right hand back to the middle. They can't get it off cleanly, and finally do. They seem to get hesitant because of the great defense of Princeton. Ball still loose. Whipple fighting Popham. Ball loose behind, nobody in the goal. Here comes Hockstead, checked out of bounds. Not quite. Checked behind by Harrington, ball still loose. Here comes 2 other Princeton players. Well, procedure call on Hockstead, who must have stood up without the ball or got in the way, or what did he do?
He kind of fell out the ball.
I think.
Yeah, it might have been withholding the ball against his chest when he spun.
What an opportunity there. They got the fast break, Quint. Nobody really got a good shot on the fast break. Then they had a chance with goalie Popham out of the goal. Couldn't get back in position.
That's one of the first times that Haggerty has been able to get the fast break off the faceoff. He's done a nice job winning faceoffs, but they haven't got the fast breaks. In all the playoff games, Maryland has been able to go on a run because of Haggerty's ability. We have not seen that today.
4 goals separate them. A 5-goal run really put Maryland in a hole. The only attack goal for Maryland on an extra man played out of Hockstead just moments ago. Hess, Connor, now Bonanni slides off. And Bonanni playing tough defense. Mike Bonanni talked about him being the spiritual leader on that defense. He needs to be a little bit of a glue factor right now because they have not been comfortable the last 10 minutes. And who would be against this offense that Princeton throws at you? Mark Whaling sets up. Here comes the double team. Mark Whaling looking for help as 2 players come after him. They can't catch him. Trouble here. Ball tipped for a moment as Torty picks it up. So they're not looking to force it. They'll wait till they get their shot. Massey over to John Hess. He thinks he can take Connor, makes a big move on him. Here comes a double from way away. Shirk way out by himself. John Hess, this is Massey wheeling with a shot.
So tough because he can shoot both lefty and righty. Does a 360 there, pumps with the left and spins back for the right-handed worm burner. Great body control, great stick skills.
Connor did a nice job of checking the ball out for a moment, but Hess picks it right back up. John Hess now controlling. Playing on Casey Connor, a sophomore. The veteran Hess, not big. And look at the check, easily done by Bonanni. Bonanni slid up the backside and went over his head for the check.
Hubbard brought Bonanni near Hess. Something you don't want to do. An easy double team there on the end line. There was no place for Hess to run.
And here comes Jeff Shirk. Looks behind to Andrew Whipple. John Harrington just staying with him step for step.
Harrington's done a great job against Whipple in settled situations. He gets his stick in your numbers, and he's forced Whipple to operate really from the perimeter, from about 20 yards away from the cage. Whipple's got to step up and deal with that pressure that Harrington, the junior out of Yorktown, presents.
Bill Woolmount comes in. This is the right-handed howitzer. Zeller, left-handed shot, just goes wide and backed up on the far side by Andrew Whipple. Whipple's not going to outrun anybody, so Harrington's going to have a stick on him the whole time. It's his quickness that'll kill you. It's lefty-righty, and his vision. He gives the ball. He distributes beautifully. There he goes again. Great vision up top. Hard shot goes wide, just off the mark. Time and time again, the shots that we saw go against Maryland, they're not even hitting the net.
I like the ball movement. They need to finish those shots. Zeller has got to stop shooting for the pipes.
Braden had not much of an angle there. Coming in left-handed, Popham just gobbled it up.
Maryland's going to be called in the crease. Raiden, after the shot, fell into the crease, so Princeton will control here. See if they give him a free clear.
Well, a lot of times.
They will give him a free clear. It's going to be a play on in the crease violation. So Princeton now with the free clear, Lawrence Smith will handle. Look at Coach Tierney, his 5th title game. They're undefeated in the championships. 2 of those were overtime games, 1992 against Syracuse, and then 96 against Virginia.
Lawrence Smith now inbounding. Brian Reese matched up on him, number 34, back to Casey Connor's challenge. That's John Hess. Hubbard. This is typical Princeton. They zing that ball around with great speed and accuracy. Very tough to cut him off. Smith getting a lot of defensive checks from Brian Reese. Reese has played double duty this year, played close defense, long stick.
I think there was a factor on that goal earlier by Massey on the dodge. Reese really not as comfortable playing close defense. He's played close defense the last 3 or 4 games, but it's real important to know where you are in the field as a defenseman.
Pasqualina takes it from Osberg. He looks for an open man. Can't see anybody because the Princeton defense. Far side skips a man, and the hard shot again misses. Hahn had an open look at the rope, and he just misses the whole 6x6.
They've missed some big-time opportunities here in the 3rd quarter. They easily could have 2 or 3 goals more. We watched Hahn miss the net. We saw Zeller miss earlier.
And we're going to credit Popham for that. You know, Popham, a hot goalie will make you start moving your shot a little bit more toward the corner. And right now, Popham has these guys thinking. The shooters are not comfortable with where to shoot on Corey Popham. He's played beautifully. Well, that'll be the end of the quarter. Princeton controls. They lead by 4. 15 minutes left to go for the championship.
Most of the world's major airlines rely on this oil company for fuel. With that in mind, what kind of gas do you think they'd make for your car? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
You'll whistle too when you try Chili's Ranch Hand Filet. Slow grilled over an open flame for a bold outdoor flavor and placed on awesome blossom strings. Only at Chili's.
This is not about fashion. This is about the fashion.
For the Princeton Tigers.
The all-important face-off down there now in Maryland, facing off against Greg Mecca. And they get the ball back. So Mecca has given Haggerty problems. There are the score by quarters.
An even game in the first half. Princeton just goes on a little spurt, a little run, and they've got a 4-goal lead. They control the tempo with a lead like this. Maryland will be forced to come out now and play a little more aggressive on the ball, try to generate some turnovers.
And they're using Greg Mecca, who we didn't even count on, to come out and really cause Haggerty some problems. They've gotten, I think, 2 of the 3 of the faceoffs Mecca has taken.
Mecca's only taken 37 faceoffs prior to this game, but he's done a nice job just tying up Haggerty, taking away the fast break, and I think it's frustrated Haggerty in Maryland. No fast break goals for the Terps.
Hess gets it right in front to Chris Massey. What pressure on Healy, and Healy comes up with a big save. Brian Reese levels Josh Sims out of bounds. Princeton doesn't mind. They have possession. That's all they want. Chris Massey will now take it behind. He's got Lamy playing him. Chris Lamy at 6'5". don't think you get around him too much unless you start trimming on the jets. Hold call. It'll be on Lamy. Lamy got tied up as he went over the top. Massey showing tremendous quickness. He can go roll on your right or left. He tucks that stick. And with the hidden stick, Lamy just got locked up on a hold.
The senior from Garden City. Look at the devastation. The Massey for Princeton and Hahn for Maryland and Hubbard for Princeton. All-time leading goal scorers in the tournament. Gary Gait, 50 career goals. They won 3 championships with the Gait brothers. Maricek, 38. Frank Urso, one of the great midfielders, a 4-time first-team All-American. And then you see Massey and Hubbard always saving their best games for the NCAAs.
And for the final game, we have not heard much from the offense of Maryland. Where have been the big goals for Hahn? Not today. He has been so critical in that drive, Whipple to Hahn, a combination we haven't heard from today. 2 men down for Maryland. They will be playing 6 against 4. And if ever there was a challenge for Healy, this is the one.
Keep your eyes on Hubbard, number 16 for Princeton. He's got the outside shot. They'll probably kick it around for a right-handed outside shot by Jesse Hubbard from about 12 yards.
And Healy knows the heat's coming. Lawrence Smith. This is Chris Massey, and right there is Hubbard. Jesse Hubbard's got tremendous right hand. Josh Sims and Lawrence Smith for the left to his side right there. There's Lawrence Smith. Good rotation as Chris Massey looks far side. He couldn't get Sims. They continue to look for Sims back door. There's the big shot, but blocked by the sticks of Maryland. Nice job of protecting their goalie, and then he throws it out of bounds.
There's going to be an interference with the goalie called against Princeton. The Princeton attackman, he is entitled to his space.
Good job by Healy.
Healy with a smart play there. The referees usually buy that call. If you throw an outlet pass into the attackman, they buy it. Remember, they are entitled to their vertical space. They're just not allowed in towards the cylinder of the crease.
Well,
but Healy with a smart play. And Maryland now, with only 4 offensive players, they've got to kill the next 21 seconds here, and then their teams will be back to even strength.
This could be a turning point. If Maryland is to come back in this game, mark your VCRs, because this is where it'll start. Zeller getting ragged by 2 players, helped by Hockstedt. Hockstedt cannot pick it up cleanly. And knocked out of bounds. It'll be a Maryland ball.
Great second effort by Zeller. Loses it, but stays focused, delivers the hit, and Maryland will have the ball. We've got 7 seconds left on the penalty. Watch the Zeller right here. Gets double teamed, but he doesn't quit. He comes back, and you'll see him make the hit right there on the right side of your screen. He actually hit Martell as Martell scooped the ball, and the ball rolled out of bounds.
Got Hockstedt with possession against Jason Farrell. He's waiting for the men to come in. They've killed that penalty. That is a big moment. Hockstedt coming in. He'll have a shot, and he finds the corner. Hockstedt changes the complexion of the game. It was 8-4. It could have been 9-4. Instead, it's 8-3. It's anybody's game. 3 goals separate these 2 teams.
Monster goal by Hockstedt. The junior has scored 2 in a row now for Maryland. Watch him just take that double team. Strong bull dodge. He has got that ability to drop his shoulder and use his strength right there, running through the double team, kind of blind to the cage, and puts it 5-hole against Popham. If Maryland's going to make a run, it's going to come from right there, number 24, and the rest of the attack unit. They have to step up right now.
I think you've got to hear some numbers out of Hahn. He's been there too many times. He has been shackled today. Watch number 32 for Maryland. If they come back, you've got to have goals from number 32. They get the face-off. Maryland brings down Chris Noe. Was in there for Haggerty. Noe has the ball in possession, gives it to Whipple. Andrew Whipple continues to look for help. He has got great distribution, but he's being pushed by John Harrington. The defense of Harrington has really caused problems. Harrington at 6'2", and quick enough to stay with Whipple.
If I'm Maryland right now, I'm going to get the ball to Hockstedt, try to initiate.
Raiden with a big shot. I like the way Raiden just puts on heat. He runs hard and shoots hard. Nothing fancy about that, but that is a test for any goalie.
Raiden's such a hard worker. Got a great change of direction, but you can see the burst of speed. This is the matchup I'm talking about. Hockstedt will draw the quick double team. If they can move it, they're going to generate some shots.
Tried to push it inside. Zeller had a shot, and he just gave it up to try to get it to Hahn. Nice riding, though, by Maryland. Keeps it on the floor. It'll go out of bounds, back to Maryland. The concept was good, Quint. They went far side, but then maybe a little too careful shifting it into Hahn. He had a shot up top.
Princeton is shutting out Matt Hahn right now. On 7 shots, he's got 1 real high-quality shot where Popham stuffed him from close range.
Well, he had a better one down here. He hit the pipe. He did hit the pipe early on.
He had the pipe, and the one stuffed by Popham. But I like the offense when Hockstedt initiates. They know the slide's coming, and then they can get it moving.
Hockstedt gets doubled. You're not going to find much room around him. Maryland continues to push it into the covered man. Raiden covered, Rule getting triple, men are open. They've got numbers if they can move the ball. And a whistle called.
Maryland's got a timeout on the side. They wanted to maintain that possession. Earlier, I kind of criticized them for not using their timeouts during the run, and there they used one of them.
They might have had a fast break if they didn't call it, but they'll have possession in a moment. They are down to within 3. A lot of time left.
I am the beer god. Many of you have bought honey brown lager. This is good. You will be rewarded with many children. Your grass will grow greener, and there will be many mules in your barn. Buy more! The beer god has spoken.
Working on that new direct mail campaign? Uh-huh. Your print material looks great. Uh-huh. Spent so much on it you got stuck with the stuffing and mailing? Uh-huh. You should have called Sullivan Communications. For about the same price you paid for that other company to do just your printing, Sullivan Communications will design it, print it, and mail it. Plus, you can send them your work on the internet. Sound good? Uh-huh. Sullivan Communications, top quality printing with unparalleled service. Call today or visit our website.
We're back at Rutgers Stadium. Let's flash back to this great dynasty in Princeton. This was last year against Maryland. Open net, Bonanni can't make the stop. It was Princeton shredding Maryland last year. It's not as easy this year, but this has been a dynasty. The team of the 90s, the Princeton Tigers, led by Coach Bill Tierney, the coach of this year's U.S. team that will compete in Baltimore in July. There they are on the sideline.
Tigers looking for the three-peat. It's only been done twice in NCAA lacrosse history. Hopkins winning championships 78, 79, and 80, and then Syracuse with the Gate brothers winning in 1988, 89, and 90. Princeton looking to become the third three-peat in NCAA history.
Maryland again with possession. They need some goals. They wheel inside. There's the shot by Hahn they wanted, but Popham, who has really been the story, has come up with another big save.
He has answered all the critics. Big question mark for Princeton entering this Final Four would be goal play.
Sideline, Lawrence Smith against Brian Reese. Reese trying to get it from Smith, but Smith just too crafty, too much size, and a double team now on Chris Massey. Whoa, a 10-second violation. No, a timeout called before that. Another possession timeout, this time called by Coach Bill Tierney. A lot of discussion about these possession timeouts. They are not the favorite of a lot of fans, and the committee talked about it this year in rules. Well, you want to stay tuned for a little bit of baseball. Great doubleheader coming up. It's today. The Tigers face the Indians at 1:15 Eastern time. Yeah, the Tigers led by Damon Easley. Then, of course, the Indians. David Justice for one. You've got a lot of stars on that team, including Kenny Lofton. Then we go to the National League. The Los Angeles Dodgers take on the Houston Astros. That's a 4 o'clock start, all on ESPN today. Pressure here as Princeton, a team that doesn't lose when it's tight, Quint, very rarely. They don't choke. They do what they have to do. They've got ice water in their veins, and they have since that trio of attackmen took over this team.
They have done it and throughout the course of the history with Bill Tierney as their coach. In NCAA games, they've won 11 straight that have been decided by 2 goals or less. They win the close ball games, and they're 7-0 in overtime games during that period.
Well, one attackman that has stepped up, we feel like they've got to get Hahn to score some goals, but Hannah has scored 1 from the midfield. Hochstead has scored the last 2, giving them a little life on the offense.
There he is, Scott Hochstead, coming into this game with 46 goals. Here's the extra man shot, right-handed, just sizzles the ball past Popham from about 10 yards.